welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. The 2017 NFL Combine is finally here, and I'm finally here to talk about the Combine. I've been busy as hell. This week was midterms for me. I was just studying all day, all night long, and I aced all of them. Good for me. Remember, guys, I'm an engineering student, okay? Sometimes I can't devote all my time to YouTube, but now it's spring break, and instead of going to PCB or to New York or to California or to Mexico, I'm here and I'm making YouTube videos for you guys. I hope you guys will enjoy this week because we have a bunch of stuff this week. We have the Combine, we have free agency. I can't afford to go party. It's time to grind. Let's make some YouTube videos. I want 10,000 subscribers by the end of March. Let's see if we can do it. But today we're talking about the quarterbacks. And, you know, the quarterbacks today were very interesting for this 2017 NFL Draft Scouting Combine. If you see my scouting reports, you know that my quarterback prospect rankings right now go number 1, DeShone Kizer. Number 2, Mitch Trubisky. Number 3, Patrick Mahomes. And number 4, Deshaun Watson. Just based off of today. Just their performances today, how they look today. Watson was number 1. Number 2, I would say, was Trubisky. Number 3, you could say Davis Webb. I'd say Davis Webb. Number 4, maybe Kizer. And then number 5, Mahomes. Then number 6, maybe like Nathan Peterman. So not consistent with my prospect rankings. Now, what am I going to do? Am I going to overreact? Am I going to change my big board? Oh, it's time to change my rankings. No. I'm going to calm down because what we have to understand is, look back to last year, okay? Dak Prescott did not look great during his combine, okay? He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. You would look at him, you'd say, yeah, he's a 4th rounder, and he went in the 4th round. We can't put too much emphasis on this. However, it does matter. I remember when, back in the 2015 scouting combine, I'm a Titans fan. I was looking at Marcus Mariota intently. I was looking at Jameis Winston intently because I thought that one of them is going to prove to be our quarterback, and that proved to be the case. And I mean, those guys were fantastic. I mean, those two, I think they're the best that I've seen. They're definitely the best I've seen at the Combine in terms of they hit everybody. If there is a wide receiver, they hit him. Every single throw, every single route, everything. And when I hear Mike Mayock and DJ, Daniel Jeremiah, and Bucky Brooks, they always love to say that, oh, they don't have timing with these receivers. It's okay if they have incompletions, and that is true. But man, I just saw Marcus and Jameis kill it, okay? And they're not top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. They're good. So that kind of tells me that you kind of need to do well. You know, if you're a quarterback and I put you on the football field, you need to do well. Even if you don't know the receivers, you should be able to judge, okay, even when you're dropping back, look at how this receiver is running. Look at his speed. I bet you I can hit this throw at the 20-yard line. Boom. He should catch it. Good. You should be able to perceive these things because when wide receivers get jammed at the line of scrimmage, they're going to get rerouted, okay? They're going to get slowed down. They're going to get, sometimes they're going to get faster breaks than you were expecting. You need to be able to judge that, read your progressions, anticipate, okay, and know that, okay, this receiver is going to come up in here. I need to throw it at the 20-yard line here. This is my window. I need to hit it. Okay, so to me, I still need to see something from these quarterbacks. If you come out and you look awful, I'm going to be concerned. So with that said, let's start with who I thought did the best today. And that was Deshaun Watson, right? The quarterback out of Clemson, the guy I had ranked 4th before today. And although I won't put too much emphasis into today, he earned some points from me, okay? He's currently at a prospect grade of 77. I have to increase him after today. He looked pretty damn good. I mean, he was getting the dropbacks, 5 7-step drops. Yeah, he looked pretty clean there. Footwork looked good, and his accuracy was on point for the most part. He missed a couple throws, okay? He's going to have a couple throws where he underthrows you. You're going to have to turn around, catch the ball, and moonwalk into the end zone like Michael Jackson. That's just what's going to happen. And then other times it's going to miss you completely, throwing about 5 yards in front of your freaking head. But at the same time, man, he looked pretty good today. I was really impressed with him. I had him at a 77 before. After today, we're talking about a 79. I'm not gonna improve your grade too much. Like, I think anything more than 2 points is ridiculous. I just can't do it just off of a damn combine. But 2 points you can get, and I think he earned those today. I think he is now at 79. That still does not move him into a range to where I want to take him in the first round. I still think I would not take him until the second round. The top of the second round, fine. First round, no way. Even the Houston Texans at 25, I wouldn't take him. I don't think he's good enough, period. But I think today I saw more of a guy that is really a good football player. I mean, when I'm critical of him, it sounds as if I'm saying he's not a good football player. He is a good football player. I mean, this is a guy that you throw on the football field, you can see his talent, but his decision-making in terms of in-game, it can be problemsome. And a great point that I want to say Bucky Brooks made today, someone made the point, you have to be careful when overrating Deshaun Watson because he does follow under the similar aspects of a Matt Leinart, Vince Young, where everyone around this kid is an NFL player, okay? And that's going to elevate his performance. I mean, you're talking about Wayne Gallman, talking about Mike Williams, Artavis Scott. Did he play with DeAndre Hopkins? No. But still, just a bunch of players in Clemson that go to the NFL. He was just surrounded by NFL talent. So I'm concerned with him still. But today helped solidify that, okay, he's a second round guy because I was thinking third round. I really was. Now I'm saying, okay, he's second, but he's still not first. Let's move to his 40 time real quick. He ran well, 4.68 40, about there, and that's good. That's where I expected him to be exactly, by the way, so yay me. He performed pretty well athletically. Now let's move on to DeShone Kizer, okay? This was a guy I had ranked number 1 for my quarterbacks heading into today. He did not prove to be very good today. Now, again, I won't dock him too much, but I think I may have to dock him a point because, man, he was inconsistent. His mechanics, his footwork today was inconsistent. Ball placement ended up being inconsistent. His short throws were good. Intermediate, not so much. That's where he really struggled today. Deep throws were okay. In fact, even pretty good, I'd say. He's going to throw the ball deep well. The problem is you don't throw the ball deep often, right? You'll be lucky if you throw the ball past 30 yards once every 8 throws. You'll be lucky if that's the case. Okay, so that's troublesome. That's worrisome for me. He needs to get better, cleaner. I don't think he's ready to start. I thought he was ready to start. He's definitely going to have to sit for probably like half the season at least before you can throw him in there. But at the same time, he looks to me to be better than Dak Prescott was as a prospect, definitely. Not even looks to be. He is. And Dak Prescott, look how good he is. So, I mean, who knows, man? You never really know about these guys. I mean, look at me. I'm coming on here talking like I know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, a guy like Dak Prescott, who did not look good, came in and was the best rookie quarterback ever. You can say it was because of his offensive line or his running back. I don't care. He was the best ever. Period. Ever. Best rookie quarterback of all time. Dak Prescott. So, I'm not going to dock him too much, but it did concern me, and I was saying that I would consider take him even number one overall because I was confident he would be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Now I'm not so confident. Now I'm saying don't take him in the top 10. Ideally, I would take him with, let's say, the 20th pick. The Broncos, they could use a quarterback, but they're not going to take a quarterback back-to-back rounds in the first round that late, especially, so forget that. So we'll see where he goes. I'll be shocked if he falls past the 49ers in round 2. I'll be really shocked if he falls past the Bills in round 2. So we'll see where he goes, but today did not help him much. His 40-yard dash was okay. It was 4.8. I expected him to be 4.7, low 4.7, like 4.77. I guess that's high 4.7. And he wasn't there, so that also hurts a little bit. He just wasn't great. We move on to Mitch Trubisky, he wants to go by Mitchell now, and this doesn't matter what I'm about to say, but I hate the new name change. It's not really a name change, but I want to go by Mitchell. I hate it. Mitchell Trubisky sounds awful. It sounds terrible. It sounds like a bust. Mitchell Trubisky. God, what a bust. That's what it sounds like to me. But in terms of his play, okay, in terms of him as a player, as a quarterback, I liked him today. I thought he was pretty good. I don't know what Lance Zierlein was on. Or no, not Lance Zierlein. I want to say Matt Money Smith. God, these awful nerds at NFL Network. This guy was like, oh, Mitchell Trubisky looked terrible today. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? It looks pretty good to me. His footwork looked pretty good to me. I liked his body. He was lean. He was toned today. Looked like a baseball player on steroids, like a quarterback that's athletic, can move for sure. His calves look good. Arms look good. He looks like a football player, man. Looks like a running back even, I'd maybe even say. Maybe even dare to say. So I liked his body. I liked his throwing motion. I thought his throwing motion looked pretty good, and ultimately his throws look good. Not quite as good as Watson, but to me he was number 2 today, just in terms of combine performance for the quarterbacks. I liked him. I still like him. And he's still an 80. I had him at 82. I want to move over to 83. I like 83 now, so he is now tied to me with DeShone Kizer for quarterback supremacy in this draft class, and I may even prefer Trubisky more now. Okay, I don't want to put too much into today, but I really like Trubisky, what I saw from Trubisky, and I really did not like what I saw from Kizer today. Kizer looks like he has a way to go, while Trubisky looks like a guy that could come in, play sort of well early, and get it some team some wins, man. So I like Trubisky. We move on to Patrick Mahomes. Now, Patrick Mahomes has turned into a little bit of an internet darling, okay? If you're on the internet and you scout, you love Patrick Mahomes. That's pretty much the case. He did not look great today to me. He looks very raw, and we all knew this to be the case. If you turn on the film, you can see his mechanic. You can see from time to time his baseball background coming into his throws from time to time. And today, man, he had some bad throws. He had a couple, not many, not like 5 or 6, but I want to say like 3 that were just awful. I mean, they were just awful. They just got away from him, especially on the deep throws. I don't know what happened there. On the short throws, at times he did not step into his throws. I saw some short throws that fell short. They didn't hit the ground, but they just did not have any velocity coming out of his throwing motion. I don't know what happened, man. This guy has some mechanical flaws, man. He just does not look great. He just does not look ready to me. His drop back looked fine. I liked his 40 time. What was his 40 time? It was 4.80, which is actually pretty good for him in his size. He measured in at 6'2". I thought he was bigger. I thought he was definitely a definitive 6'3". Not a big problem there, but just, noting that. And his poundage 225, and I needed to see him there, and I think this is a good weight for him. I remember saying, I think I had him listed at 235 in my scouting report. I wanted to see him lose 5 pounds. He lost 5 pounds good, 5 to 10 pounds, and he looks good. So now the body is no longer a concern for me. And yeah, he looks good in terms of his body. Now, he just looks raw, though. I don't know. Something about him today, these throws that just got away from him really concerned me. Just does not look ready, man. Looks like a year. I think he has to sit for a year. Maybe I'm wrong on that. If you want him to just be back there running around like an idiot, throwing some dumb throws, some that'll work, some that won't, well, you can do that. He'll probably, let's say he started 16 games. He'll throw, let's say 15 touchdowns and 20 interceptions. If you're fine with that, go ahead. I'm not. I would just rather sit him. So we'll see what happens there. Outside of those guys, okay, those are the top 4. Anyone else that impressed me? Davis Webb was all right. He was, like I said, I think I said he was the 4th best quarterback today. I liked him better than Patrick Mahomes. I did. He was the best quarterback at the Senior Bowl, so he's going on up a little bit. Is he 2nd round yet? No. 3rd round. Yeah, I think that's about where he is. Definitely 4th at least. I don't love him, but I don't hate him either. Brad Kaya, let's talk about him now. In terms of his footwork, he looked pretty mechanically sound, but man, his arm just isn't great. He just doesn't have a lot of arm strength. The ball flutters out there. It sails on him. Not really sails on him, just lost the ball. I mean, it just doesn't have much, behind it. And he did not run the 40 today. He probably would have run over 5. Honestly, he's not very athletic at all. That's not a surprise to anybody. He's a statue back there in the pocket for University of Miami during his time there. And I'm not sure what to think about him. I don't love him, but I did he looks like a backup quarterback. Okay, that's what he looks like. So if you're fine with that, take him, right? If you want a backup quarterback, that's what you're looking for, take him, because that's what he's going to be. He's not going to be a starter to me, and if he is a starter for you, your starter is pretty inspiring, to say the least. You're not going to get much out of him in terms of big plays at all. Okay, so if you're fine with that, then okay, be fine with that. I'm not. We look at CJ Beathard real quick. I thought he was awful. I didn't like anything from CJ Beathard. Josh Dobbs, I like some things from him. I hate his head, right? It's an ugly bald head, no eyebrows. He looks weird. But he has some nice throws out there, and he's a guy that, I mean, you can think you're going to develop him. Personally, I don't think he's ever going to do anything. I mean, that's just my honest opinion. I think he's never going to do anything unless if maybe 5 years from now, he could be a Tyrod Taylor. I can see that. Are you willing to wait 5 years? I think if you take him, you're not going to see any benefits. I think he's not going to do anything for you. You're taking him for the next team. Okay, I think the only hope for him is that he becomes Tyrod Taylor. And there's no incentive for you. I think stay away from Josh Dobbs to me. He's not trash, but he's definitely not going to do anything for you under his rookie deal. We look at Trevor Knight, he's not a quarterback. Trevor Knight is not a quarterback. College quarterback, fine, but man, he had some awful throws. He ran a 4.5 40. Could he play a different position though? No, he's not a good runner in the open field to be a good enough running back or anything else like that. I can't take him. I can't take Trevor Knight unless if you want to take him in the 7th round, 6th round, and then if your quarterback gets injured, and then your backup quarterback gets injured, you want to run some wildcat, want to run some spread offense with a bunch of stupid, zone read plays to try to win a game. Okay, then maybe, but man, I don't see anything from Trevor Knight to say that this guy's going to be an NFL quarterback. Seth Russell out of Baylor wasn't great to me. A guy that barely played at Baylor because he just kept getting damn injured. But he wasn't great to me either. So, those are my thoughts on the quarterbacks today. You see why no one is enthusiastic about this quarterback class. And initially I was optimistic because everyone was pessimistic. I was saying, there are things to like about these quarterbacks, and there still certainly are. There are certainly no Marcus Mariotas or Jameis Winstons. There are certainly no Andrew Lucks. There are guys that could be pretty good. And what's probably going to happen is we will have the equivalence of the 2014 quarterback class, where one of these guys may end up like a Derek Carr. Derek Carr, guys, he wasn't a great prospect. I liked him, actually. I wanted the Tennessee Titans to take him at 11th overall in that draft. I really like Derek Carr. But he was good. We saw Blake Bortles has been pretty much a disaster. Pretty much. I mean, he's okay to get by, but not for long. We look at Teddy Bridgewater being an uninspiring starter. And then we look at, who is the other guy I'm missing? Johnny Manziel being a complete bust. This could happen. We could see Deshaun Watson be the next Teddy Bridgewater. We could see DeShone Kizer be the next Derek Carr. We could see who's going to be the total bust. Maybe Mitch Trubisky. I don't think so, but maybe. Let's say Patrick Mahomes, actually, because I don't know. Mahomes, his mechanics. Let's say Mahomes be the next, Manziel be the next Mahomes, and then the frustrating Blake Bortles starter being Mitch Trubisky. Or, some sort of combination like that. Actually, Mitch Trubisky may be the Derek Carr, and DeShone Kizer could be the next Blake Bortles. That actually makes more sense. So Kizer being the next Blake Bortles, an inconsistent, frustrating starter. I liked Kizer. I did. I still do. But, there are things there that have to concern you. So look out for that. Don't just dismiss this class and just say, okay, they're trash. They're not 2013 trash. They're just not very good. But I'm sure I think one of them is going to solidify themselves. I think one of them is going to step up. And right now, I'm telling you, I think Trubisky may be my number one quarterback now. Because, again, I'm not changing too much. Remember, Kizer was only 2 points ahead of Trubisky. I even tweeted, they're close to me. So it's not like I'm changing my entire prospect rankings here. They're always close, but after today and after what I saw from Trubisky, I think he might be the best. If I'm an NFL team, I want to sit down with these guys. Let's get them on the chalkboard, whiteboard, whatever. Let's get in their heads. Let's get in their minds. Let's talk to them. And I would decide there. But to me, Trubisky just looks ready. His footwork looks pretty good. Everything looks pretty good, ready to go. Kizer is a project. And it's a project that could work out really well. But I thought he was more pro ready, and his mechanics just aren't sound. I thought he was going to come here. I thought he was going to be very mechanically sound, a very sound, crisp, running the football well. He wasn't. And that's what concerned me today from Kizer. And I didn't see that on film. So I'm really surprised to be seeing it on the practice field. And that just, maybe it was a bad day. We'll watch his pro days. Remember, I'm going to watch all these guys' pro days, or at least what of it I can watch. And things won't change much from here. I'll tell you that right now. So we will see. The main thing that's going to change for me is you could see Trubisky being over Kizer, and you could end up seeing Watson over Mahomes, because I was kind of concerned with Mahomes today. So we're going to see how those shake up, but no matter what, you're either going to see Trubisky or Kizer 1 or 2 on my final prospect rankings, and Mahomes and Watson 3 or 4 on my final quarterback prospect rankings. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the combine today, day 2 of the combine for the quarterbacks. I'll be back to talk about the wide receivers, the tight ends. We will wrap around, talk about yesterday's running backs. We'll move forward, talk about day 3 and all of that fun week ahead here on Sports Fan Entertainment. Until next time, he's been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. And I'm out. Peace.